Welcome to Packing and Yapping, where I'm going to yap whilst packing about where I'm... What? Welcome to Packing and Yapping, where I'm going to yap whilst I pack about where I'm packing for. Right, I am packing for Fise, Alabama. I fly tomorrow. This is my first international contest in over 2 years since Paris 2024 Olympics. You may or may not know that since then I have really taken a big step away from competing. I've competed somewhat, nothing on the level of a World Cup, and I am so scared to go, which is silly. You might be thinking, why this Fise? And I guess the short answer is logistics. I'm no longer on the British Cycling Olympic team, so I'm funding a lot of the travel myself. So this is the cheapest, easiest World Cup for me to get to, covering it myself. Am I prepared? Not really. Compared to how I used to prepare years ago, was pretty meticulous. With really hard sessions, visualization, diet, training. Not sure I've done like any of that really. Ridden a bit of park, but my focus recently has just been so heavy on going with the flow and my instincts and enjoying my riding. And sometimes when I pull up to the park and set a massive expectation like that, and it's like training, I really don't enjoy it all that much these days. In fact, I actually... Come on. Ugh. I actually refuse to use the word training because it's not training, it's playing, it's riding, it's getting creative and having fun, and biggest thing is feeling free for me. And when I feel like I'm training, I guess I feel like I'm not doing that. Oh my god, it's so hard to yap and think about what I'm yapping about, and also what order I dismantle my bike in. This is tricky. How do people do this? Some people might think, like, why on earth would you be so scared to go do what you've done so many times before? And they'll say, oh, you've already completed it and got an Olympic gold medal. Surely that would take the pressure off. And I think ironically, after I got a gold medal, it actually put way more pressure on. And I felt like I was having to live up to this image of being the Olympic gold medalist, and I had to be riding to the max and be all perfect with stuff. And it eventually just drove me nuts. It drove me into the ground. I didn't enjoy it anymore. But I'm scared. I guess ultimately you're always scared because of what other people will think. I don't want to talk negatively on like my own riding. However, I know what the majority of the field out there are doing. You know, I know how hard they're working and the level of tricks they've got dialed because I've been there and I know that, and I haven't been putting in the work like that. So I'm not going out there to like expect a negative result, but I'm genuinely going out there just to like test the waters of my feeling of whether I enjoy competing at that level anymore. And I just don't think, again, I'm not being negative, I'm genuinely just being factual as to my knowledge of the sport. I just don't think I'll be that competitive. I do think I have stuff to offer, and I think it's cool that my riding style's changed a bit. Like, that'll be fun putting that out there. But my main focus is like being able to do the tricks I enjoy doing out on that course, I guess. Really scared of like struggling to ride the course. It's been so long since I've ridden a World Cup course, and they are something else. Ew. I'm literally like forgetting everything that I'm doing because I'm trying to talk. So I'm going, and I want to challenge myself. I love a challenge. Things I actually discovered I enjoy about competing is the process, the adventure, sharing it with my friends and meeting new people. And I see the course as like a puzzle. I love riding a new setup, and throughout practice and the preparation, putting the pieces of the puzzle together between the line and the tricks. That's what I enjoy most. So it's kind of where my focus will be. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard to not think about an outcome, or to be scared of not having a good outcome. Oh my God. It is really hard to hold a good space and not let the competitive ego side of you take over, because I do take pride in my work and I like to take pride in my riding, but you just got to know where you're at sometimes and accept it and work from where you are, literally. I've made a mistake here. I've done this in the order I don't usually do this in. It's because I'm trying to talk at the same time, so please don't judge. Let me just quickly... Oh my God, where's my wrench? Just quickly wrench this off. Okay, that's loose. I'll do this one as well. Lovely. Let's continue. So yeah, back on that ego, what I'm going to be trying to remind myself whilst I'm out there and stay focused on is just how much I've achieved outside of competing recently. It's so humbling to move to a different country and completely start again, because you just don't think about the things that affects. And I'm really proud of how my husband Matt and I have done with that. So honestly, I consider building a credit score in the US an achievement. I've done a really good job of building a great community here in State College, and I know so much more. Oh my God, I've done this in such the wrong order. I was supposed to do the back wheel because now it's a pain. Stop judging me, I swear. I swear I do this all the time. The talking thing is messing me up. Okay, we're good. Gonna let the tires down. A bit controversial letting the tires down. Some people never do it, but I don't think it'll fit in my bag if I don't do it, honestly. I really cannot believe how incorrectly I took apart my bike. This is ridiculous. It's blown my mind. I've messed this up so bad. I've really quite struggled with, as I said, that aspect of training and how I used to prepare. It kind of switches me off these days. So I want to change my perspective whilst I'm out there, that this isn't going backward to an old experience or an old time or an old way I used to be, but actually a new experience. I want to try to focus on this being a completely new experience. I'm a different person. I'm a different rider. It's going to be kind of scary to ride out there, like feeling unprepared and knowing how much the level has changed since I was last riding out there. But it also kind of makes me a little bit excited to be completely, I was going to say starting again, but this is also a little bit of potentially a last hurrah as well, if that makes sense. Because, as I said, it's more of a tester to feel all the feels. And yeah, I might do it, and I might just hate it and just say, look, this is just not me anymore. Don't enjoy it. It's not worth putting my time into, because I am competitive, and of course it's still an ego thing. I don't want to be out there just not riding well. I want to be in there with a chance of growing and eventually fighting for the win. But I know how much work and dedication that takes. And this year really is a bit of me answering that question to say LA 2028, am I all in or all out? Am I trying to go on that journey again? Can I do it and just let it be imperfect and be humbled and let myself start again and just not be perfect and fully prepared out the gate? 'Cause something makes me a little bit excited about it being imperfect, and doing the recons this year with less than perfect setups has just really helped. It's kind of helped my confidence in just being like, it is what it is. Sometimes I set up really well and sometimes I don't, and either way I ride and I put something out there and I cannot control the result. A lot of it comes down to controllables. As I mentioned in one of my social videos recently, if you put your self-worth into things like results, finances, having a sponsor, being on a team, having a certain number next to your name or letters next to your name, like, it determines your value. And in this sport, it's really difficult to not get wrapped up in your value. You feel like the results and things you get back is the result of how much you're worth and how much work you're putting in, but when you actually put it down to what you can control of who you are, you can't control any of those things. This was a wise thing that I kind of uncovered a couple of years ago when I realized I was like a control freak, was if you go out there and you do the perfect preparation, you execute what you think is the perfect winning run that should win you the contest, and you do everything right, it's still out of your control if you win the contest or not, because you can't control what that person does, you can't control what the weather does, you can't control what the judge thinks of your run versus someone else's run. And there's a point where you can't actually control your emotions. Like, you can sort of control how you respond to them and you can practice that, but when you look at what's actually in your control when you're out there doing a 1 minute BMX run, it's very, very, very minuscule. That helped me let go of a lot of control things. I would beat myself up the other way when I'd sort of feel like I got a bad result. I'd put everything on my shoulders and say it was all me because I can control everything and I didn't do it right. In reality, I should have just let go of some things and not put all the responsibility on myself, because I was very, very hard on myself. So yeah, I've learned so many lessons in my years competing, of extreme highs and extreme lows. And not gonna lie, a little part of me kind of wishes that I could get another chance at putting what I've learned actually into action, because I love taking action. I don't want to be someone who just talks about it and preaches it to other people. And I guess ultimately that's kind of up to me. But I guess it still has to come from the heart and the soul. I forced my riding for so long to be a certain way that I ended up just hating it. I hated doing it. I hated how my riding was. Like, I can't force it any more years. I can't just say, consciously, I can't just say, I want to go to LA Olympics, so therefore I'm gonna make this training regime, eat this certain way, ride this certain way, and then just go, like, force myself to do it genuinely, because my body just won't let me do that anymore. It has to come from the soul. I have to feel it and say, you know what, yeah, I wanna do this, I wanna pursue this and see where it goes. And ultimately, we'll never know either way until you get to the end. Right, I really am doing a good job of waffling, as we say in the UK. Yapping. Yappa, yappa, yappa. I feel like I need to focus a little bit and just get my stuff in the bag. Hopefully, I've been talking about something that's somewhat entertaining and or informative in this very unaesthetic random YouTube video. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Always good to to see people, to know people are watching. Wheels first. Just wearing a hole in my bag these days though. Got my Team GB towel. Great Britain. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone again. I saw a few people at X Games and I kind of didn't realise just how long it had been since I'd seen everyone because I hadn't been at an international event. I hope you enjoyed this random ass video of yapping and packing. Stoked to get all that off of my chest with everyone here. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I've got a flight to catch to Alabama.